So first up today we have Riven Ashe Frostbite. This is a shell that's been around Runeterra for a little bit now. It is notably very similar to the Ashe to Johnny build we saw in previous seasons, but with the curve drugged down a little bit with our second champion as Riven as our second champion. Um, so Ashe is the key Frostbite payoff. So whenever she attacks, she Frostbites something, which sets their attack to 0. When you Frostbitten 5 plus enemies, she creates you a Crystal Arrow, which which gives you the ability to frostbite a bunch of things. And then her leveled mode says enemies with 0 power can't block. So she's kind of self-enabling in that way. The frostbites in this deck also pair very well with things like Culling Strike here, letting us basically kill larger units with this premium piece of removal. The lower curve of our deck is things like Omen Hawk, Iceveil Archer, Glory Seeker, and Trapper, two of which Trapper here with Enraged Yeti and Trifarian have 5 plus power, which lets us play a Trifarian Assessor as a source of card advantage in our mid-rangey deck. Because we're taking the curve and dragging it down for it previously was with Sajani, thanks to Riven being a more cost-efficient champion, we get to play Captain Baron as an additional bomb in the top end of our deck, which seems real sweet. So we've yet to find a good Riven or super competitive Riven deck in the format. Like the Vlad Riven deck that we've been playing isn't really a Riven deck. I think we're down to one copy of her in there. One thing I notably like about this build is that it's not playing the dedicated Reforge cards in the configuration, so it's just playing Riven as a self-enabler to get the Blade to Exile. So I'm going to go ahead and pop on into some games here with this and see how it goes. Give Live, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. All right, so Garen Asel, this is a Plaza deck. I'm notably not playing any ways to interact with Plaza in the deck that we're playing, but I think the fact that we have a plethora of Frostbite things should give us good tools for playing against this archetype. I'm going to mulligan all of these to start, I think, keeping the Glory Seeker, looking for like 1s and 3s to pair with this. Perhaps Culling Strike is keepable. This is great. So we get Glory Seeker into Riven here. We're attacking on even, so we'll be able to attack with this the first turn we play it, and then Riven will be able to make us start reforging right away as well. Yeah, I'm notably only playing a single copy of Reckoning. I'm not a huge fan of that card in general. It's a pretty swingy card. Huh. Yeah, I think I want to take that trade. If I Culling Strike and they Pale Cascade me, I just like curl up in a little ball and cry. So I don't think that that's a good decision to try and get greedy on that. Spacey Sketcher, eh? So Riven gets to reforge, starting to make us these blade fragments every time we gain the attack token. So playing her here and having her flip over lets her start doing that right away, which is great. They have for 4 mana. They're not a Leona deck. So I feel like I can go ahead and deploy a 3/3 here. Weapon helps the one you're looking for. It gives 2 attack and then reforges. We'll have our Hearthguard next turn, which makes all the allies in our deck larger. Playing this card ASAP is always important because you want to start collecting the benefit of making things bigger as soon as you can. not too big of a deal. I've got a second Riven rolled up here. Notably, I'm not going to want to play her on their next turn, though. Because like I mentioned a second ago, we want to get Hearthguard down ASAP. Yeah, I guess we'll just take that for one. It could be right to trade here just because I have a 5/5 rolled up. It can't be. Hopefully they play something worth glory seekering here. Not really. Guess we just smash. We're definitely the beatdown in this matchup, so they're the ace-soul decks. They want the game to go longer. Maybe we'll get a sharp sight out of him here or something. Get a troll chant to save our Darko. Yep, yep. Yep, yep, yep. I'm not sure if I want to play Glory Seeker this turn or not. I think I definitely want to play Riven. I spew 1 mana technically if I wait to play this. I think that's fine though. Not knowing that I have the Challenger has value here. This is a great pickup because they're probably going to play something large here, and then we'll get to Ice Veil Archer to make sure it can't hook any of our stuff. My thoughts on the Reforged support cards for Riven. I think they're pretty bad in general. The 3/1's like close to playable, but the 1/2 has just not felt good in anything I've played it in. We get to Culling Strike this year, like we talked about during the deck tech. Okay, and then we've got really good open attacks here, so I'm going to go ahead and give this +2 attack. Attempt to kill them here. I'm going to heal this, wipe the attack off of this, say okay. They are dead on opens. Yep, sweet. And again, getting to see some of those nice, getting to see some of the nice synergies in our deck there, and how we're able to just have a functional deck even without Ashe. Could have given glory. Oh yeah, I didn't check what blade fragment we generated because they were dead anyways. But you're right, I should have done that. All right, I have free cards. How's the audio balance, by the way? Someone mentioned it sounded a little quiet earlier, but are the game sounds okay against my voice? I was playing with some of my configuration settings last night, so sounded okay in my test that I recorded. The game sounds, contrast are fine. Game sounds are quiet. All right. Let's pull those up about 15%. It's fine. It's funny that a bunch of people are like, some people are like it's fine, some people are like it's quiet. I prefer the game sounds to be at a reasonable level because the audio design in this game is good and the board music tends to be great. So I'm gonna pull them up and we can go back and forth. Nothing's gonna make everybody happy, but I'd prefer the game sounds be a little stronger than what most people do. Yeah, I've elected not to include Scorched Earth in this build to start, in large part because this deck does not have a lot of cheap units that are able to put chip damage on things a lot of the time. A lot of our units are bigger and they're frequently going to be trading with things in combat. So I think Culling Strike is just Culling Strike and Frostbites are just better tools for what this deck is looking to do. I also think your plethora of Frostbites mean that you're not really that poor against Plaza a lot of the time. So they are They Who Endure. Definitely keeping Riven. I think we're supposed to mulligan the flash freeze to start while having a freeze eventually. While having a freeze eventually against They Who Endure is good. We'll have plenty of time to draw towards them, and I would like to try and find some cheaper cards here to start. Are diamonds just guaranteed a champion wildcard? They are not. You're guaranteed one champion wildcard in a level 10 vault. Any others you get past that are a rolled upgrade. Today I cracked my last champion in a box in my vault, but I didn't see a visual for the guaranteed champion vault. Is that a bug, or did I lose my dust? That should be a bug. You still get a champion wild card. I still got a champion wild card today, even though my collection is full. Please attack me with Kalista. See that, chat? There's fear in their dojo. They're scared. You know, honestly, with these brittle steels in hand, I think I trade with this, huh? I think that's probably fine. Oh, your vault wasn't a high enough level. In that case, you should get 750 dust, yeah. I guess that's true. Cracking that means this becomes a 3-3 as well. Maybe that was wrong. We're gonna hold on to this flash freeze for their first They Who Endure. Yeah, the more I'm playing through this year, the more I think this block was wrong and I should have just taken one. Because, like, this is fine for us, but now Kalista levels. Working towards getting this level tier 2, though, so it's, like, not too big of a deal. We could just see open attacks here from them. Yeah, my block on their 1-1 was definitely very bad next turn.
It must be done.
I think I'd rather Riven die than my Ashe, even with the second dash in hand. Take a hit for 9 here. Yeah, the opponent's playing They Who Endure. Unspeakable Horror is a very common played card in their archetype these days, so wouldn't be surprised if this does to that. We're still a few turns off of Mr. Pharaon here. Really hoping to draw. Maybe I'm supposed to block with this last turn. Well, Trapper's a good draw, so we don't burn mana this turn. Morning, Williams. Thank you for the 22 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I think we're just passing here. I really don't want to kill this because then Kalista starts bringing it back. Do you think the plan is to just pass? Also, I guess this is leveling anyways, right? Yeah, there's really no point attacking because they played this out as a free blocker. So we're attacking on evens, which means I'm going to be able to play Pharaon next turn when we attack. Okay, and this play, I think, changes the dynamic of what I'm interested in doing here. So, I think with that play, we quick attack Riven and then smash. Yeah. I guess if I give her quick attack, now they can trade this here. Yeah, this was loose. There's still much to answer for. I think this is still fine. I have second Ashe in my hand. Just leave me alone. Yeah, it's a shame I don't have another brittle steel here. Yeah, I should have given quick attack to Ashe and just not attacked with this. This attack also makes their endure pretty large. Are they thinking twice on this block? Maybe they want to shuffle one of these into here. Because we are only one level up away from 1 point away from leveling this up. And they have the they just have Black Spear, sure. Yeah, deal Arena. Everything worked out better than expected. Next seasonal tournament is February 21st, according to Twitter. That's interesting. I wonder if that means I wonder if the next seasonal tournament not being until the 21st means that it's the word that I'm searching for. I wonder if that means the next card drop isn't until the end of February then, as opposed to mid-February. I could flash freeze this to keep Riven, and maybe I'm supposed to because she's going to give me the thing next turn. But I kind of want to hold this for an endure. Ashe is going to level up here in a minute. See the world from behind a basilisk. Actually, if I drop this turn, if I drop this turn, it levels Ashe, and then I draw Crystal Arrow next turn, and I can play Captain Pharaon plus Crystal Arrow. Sounds really appealing. Good morning, Jacob. My aim is true. What's up? Yeah, okay. Jack, thank you for... It is insane that she's very, very big. Thank you for the 2 months, Jack, and I really appreciate the tier 2. Welcome back. As a heads up, Jack, if you want to take a peek at the deck queue, tier 2 subs get to bump something by 10 points in there every month when they resub. As a thank you for that next level of support. I love you, Jacob. Okay. Have fun, bud. So we don't have to worry about Endure and Atrocity this turn. Leading on Pharaon here to give them the opportunity to develop more idiots onto their board like this. So now we can Crystal Arrow. And then this Frostbites their entire board here. And then Ashe will Frostbite another thing when she attacks, meaning nothing can block. Yeah, if they had Atrocity there, they could have Atrocity'd Ashe to potentially stay alive. Can they glimpse in response to prevent the arrow from hitting? No, I don't think so, right? Everything else still happens. Nobody blocks. Goodbye. Pretty good start to this archetype so far. Yeah, I agree, Milo. Ashe's closing power has always been impressive. For sure. There's nothing wrong with being addicted to Zoe Fizz. Zoe Fizz is wonderful. Zoe-Leona, speaking of, you know, honestly, this might be a keep 2 Culling Strikes matchup. Because, like, even Leona doesn't have... Even Leona... Yeah, I think I'm going to keep both the Culling Strikes. This might be a little bit too reactive, we'll see. Their deck is notably, their deck's notably not going up to, Acel. So, like, if we can control the game, especially with 2 Pharaons here now, we can probably have a good shot to go over the top of what they're doing. Definitely just murdering Zoe here. Don't want to pass the turn to them and get potentially blown out by, like, double Pale Cascades, so just gonna get this while the getting is good. And again, like, this turn, honestly, is a good example of, like, why Zoe's so powerful, right? So, like, they hit me with Zoe, she drew a card, and then I traded a 3-mana removal spell for their 1-mana play. That's, like, very, very good exchange for my opponent there. Seth, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. I don't think there's any reason to play this out proactively. I'm just gonna hang tight for now. Sans Seraph, Happy New Year to you too. Thanks for the 1.5 years. Welcome back.
One sling, a bunch of targets.
Just gonna take my lick for 3 here. We'll wait to play this out till they do something scarier, I think.
Just a little something I like to call fun.
Huh? With that play... This is a gain 6 now? I think I'm in for a gain 6. They're debating, do they want to trade their 2/2 for my 3/1 at this point? Probably. Seems like a good exchange for them. Really hoping to draw a 2, 3, or 4 mana play next turn. They do not want to trade. Deal. This is probably one of the best draws in our deck there, honestly.
My faith protects me.
Got it. Get it. Got it. Good. Door frozen shut. Yeah, been there, done that. Our time is now. Really unfortunate that there's a plaza in this instance, because if the plaza wasn't here, Troll Champ plus a Culling Strike would let us kill the Day Spear here. Oh, they just didn't attack because they didn't want to let me play anything else out. Little did they know my hand's just incredibly awkward. Deal Areno, opponent. As you will. Carry on. Carry on, my wayward son. Do 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 do.
Clad in shining sunlight.
This looks like an Ashe Nox hand. So, Reckoning might be okay here. Maybe. Oh no! Yikes. So... Yeah, I guess we're doing... a little bit too quick there. I guess we're doing this. Yeah, it's the traditional Frostbite mid-range Loski with Riven over Sejuani to drag the curve down a bit. Danger Noodle. I think we're actually okay here. Maybe it's right to pull the trigger on the Reckoning. I don't know. I'd kill 2 of my things and only a couple of theirs. Hey, Rulegy, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support. There's a ton of great people making a ton of great stuff on Twitch. You can ship that too. Thanks for sending it my way this month. I considered cutting down on the Pharaons. A peak Twitch chat thing to do and say is look at a game where I drew 2 Pharaons in my top 10 cards and suggest that we need to cut them. I get that this instance specifically where I drew 2 Pharaons and a bunch of combat tricks and not my other many mid-range threats feels bad, but you shouldn't. If you make adjustments to your deck every time you encounter a statistical outlier, trying to no longer encounter statistical outliers, your deck's really gonna get bad very quickly. You need to be able to take a step back from the current game that you're playing and think about how often the thing I'm currently experiencing, how often does that actually happen? Harlequin, thank you for the 15 months. Really appreciate that. Welcome back. Good morning.
Lighten up.
Crunch. Yep. So hopefully they play something that we can shrink with Troll Chain to then Reckoning next turn. Decided to support the best creator on my current favorite game. Hope you have a happy new year and the Runeterra and the channel keeps growing. Thanks, Rulegy. Wouldn't be here without folks like you, so thanks for keeping me around. Huh? Dust. That's a big one. It's super awkward that this is, this only has 1 toughness. It's gonna kill all those. I think that's the play. Their early hits combined with Overwhelm from this, with the Challenger here could really hurt. Pretty sure I have to play this as a gain 2. Wiping Spell Shield off of this also has value down the line, but I think I'd rather be at 5 than 3.
Sharpen the blade, secure the kill.
Discipline and conviction.
Yeah, this 5-1's gonna get to kill this. I'll break the siege.
My faith protects me.
Huh? Yeah, I think I'm willing to run into that.
Face me.
And honestly, I think I take this trade here so I can use Flash Freeze plus Color Strike on defense next turn.
Fall, heretic! You cannot sway me.
They might also like use a single combat here if we're fortunate. So if they single, I can then flash freeze to blow that out. So like I'm fine with this trade, and this potentially gives us something good against Concerted Striker single down the line. Their build doesn't run single generally. Oh yeah, that's a good observation. They're the Invoke build, right? If they find another big overwhelm unit here with Spell Shield, we're gonna be in trouble. If they find another destroyer here, I believe we're dead, right? Ooh, that's such a good draw. This lets us pop a spell shield here. Nailed it. Would you say this turn was decimating for my opponent? Oh, no, you wouldn't, because I'm dead. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, the swings, chat, the swings. Bigger than a Giants playground, chat. Whoopsie poopsie. Whoopsie poopsie. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Always block. I'm gonna give you a 10-minute timeout for telling me I should have blocked their elusive unit. Sit down, Twitch chat. Shut up. Yes, yeah, you can silence frostbites and stuns off of your own units, which is very valuable. Hand looking a little awkward again here with no 3-drop. I guess we're only burning 1 mana here. It's not too terrible. Hey, that's a 5/5. Red Rover, let Trundle come over. See that, chat? That's fear. They are scared. Gotcha. Yeah, I'm supposed to open here. Go ahead and call the week here, I think. But I'm king. Maybe I'm supposed to troll chant here, so that way this stays at 4 toughness. All right, no avalanche this turn is nice. This is a second Ashe at least rolled up in hand. Is good to know about.
What did you catch?
Dag Kekis, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Thanks for streaming Runeterra during this slow work day. Thanks for dropping in. Well, I feel like Ruination's unlikely here, so I think I'm just deploying this. The question is, am I going to survive their next turn? With this, we should be in the clear, I think. I could technically, like, Frostbite, open attacks, but then I'm only attacking for 7, 12. I guess I technically, we technically have lethal, right? feel like that's got to be wrong. I think we just hope they're on the field rush plan.
It's always cold in the Freljord.
I think that's the current plan here.
Avarosans, stand together.
Can't handle a little cold. Show me a worthy opponent.
You could have fought by my side.
Okay, so this play would imply that they don't have, this play implies that they don't have, what's it called? I don't know, Field Rush, because they wouldn't be able to deploy it. So I think we Frostbite these two, and then we Troll Chant here. Say okay. And then Ashe is ready to level next turn, paired with 2 more Flash Freezes. Should be good.
Not just flesh, rage incarnate.
Okay, so the fact that they've tried to kill Ashe and they're stopping their Tryndamere from leveling up would imply to me here that they're planning to ruinate us on their open attacks next turn, I think. So I think with that in mind, I'm supposed to save Ashe and then hope to kill them on opens.
My aim is true.
Do we have enough to kill them on opens though? Because I'm drawing, I should have counted this. I'm drawing a crystal arrow. I guess this kills, oh, this kills this now. Okay, that might be enough then. Because she's gonna frostbite one when she attacks. We'll flash freeze another. They'll get to block one thing. Now we're gonna end up short here still, right? Yeah, I guess we just start with Crystal Arrow.
Let fly.
Yeah, I think we're unfortunately on the hope they don't have it planned. Oh. That's really good for us, right?
These stories were true.
They should hopefully be dead then.
Patience.
Because we go Frostbite you. Ledros gets frostbitten. They get to block with one thing. Take lethal. Alright. Fortunate to fade Ruination there. But yeah, I think we definitely have to potentially play into it. This is our turn. A lot of close ones in both directions so far today. Missed the one against the target deck by this much. Clenched this one by a similar amount. Yeah, and that game was still super close, right? Press pick, like they had a very good start and it was still very close. You know, Ice Veil's probably worth keeping here. Probably keep Trapper. When did I start streaming full time? I started streaming full time. God, that's awful. That person who suggested we cut Captain Fear on right now is like sitting at home like, told you, Hogland. When did I start streaming full time? I started streaming as a full time job in like February of 2018, I believe.
I've always got your back.
If I recall correctly.
Past is a bird.
This isn't a big deal. I get to brittle steel kill the. Actually, I get to just take 4 here, right?
Bring in the heat.
Now they're making me choose if I want to take 10. I think this is fine. I think we. No, I don't even have to take 10, right? I just brittle steel this as a gain 8. And then block like this. And then we play this to kill this. Sorry, yeah, I started doing full-time Magic content in February-ish of 2018, so almost 3 years now. And I'm a very responsible adult that has like a family and obligation. So like I didn't like I've seen a lot of people who like they just announce that they're gonna be streaming as a full-time job and like they quit their job and like start streaming on Twitch 40 hours a week to like 15 people. So like I've been streaming off and on just for fun for probably close to 8 years now, 8 years, something like that. So when I decided to start doing Twitch as a job, it was because it was starting to pay me an actual income. I think when I talked to Christy and decided to try and turn it into something more, I had like something close to 1,000 concurrent subscribers. That is an overwhelm fragment. Yeah, and my channel's been partnered for a while too. I actually just uploaded 5-year subscriber icons, so there's Jester hats for people that have been subscribed for 5 years now.
Patience.
Well, that's rude. Probably should have just taken the pass. Yeah, I think I messed up there and should have just taken the pass. They were fishing for bait, and I took it.
When will I find peace?
Hold on, I'm messing with something on my OBS here really quick. Ignore the technical changes. Hold on. I'm putting myself back where I belong. One moment. Okay, I think we're good. That's you. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Oh, I think I might have accidentally flipped my webcam around though. That's correct, I believe. Yeah, it's not weird. All right. I think we're dead, shit. I probably should have offered this trade. This is a 6-6 from the other thing.
Push back the darkness.
Only the finest serve.
Well, that would be a nice draw if they deploy something else.
Locked and ready.
The +1/+ from Plaza being exceedingly relevant against our culling strike here again.
In the field.
Yeah, I think we're gonna lose this game because of that pass I didn't take.
My gun does the talk.
When they passed on 5 or whatever, I should have taken it. Oh really? That's all they're attacking with?
Finally, peace.
Alright, maybe we got a shot? I mean, I didn't cutting a card implies that I started with it in a deck list. Press a pick. So the Invoke Plaza list is just a list that I had. Oh, I should have cullinged the Hecarim. So I'm talking to chat and looking at something on OBS. It's fine. Ashe will let us do that this turn.
Guide our allies, my friend.
All right, new chat rule that I'm gonna start timing people out for because it's really annoying and it makes you a worse card game player. So you should just stop doing it.
Swiftly now.
From now on, if you want to tell me in chat that you think my opponent has a card in their hand, please include what play they've made that indicates why that's a card they're likely to have. Because typically, when Twitch chat is telling me they have a card, or they're likely to have a card, you're just filling in the worst case scenario for yourself. And that's just not how card games work. If you always assume your opponent has whatever play is the worst possible for you, you're going to end up in a shit spot. You're going to lose a ton of games. So you should be reading into what plays they're making could imply what other cards that they have. But you shouldn't just always be assuming the worst case scenario at every turn. ENJU and is that Tiggle? Thank you for the follows. Welcome to the channel. I think we're probably dead here. Is there a way to know? Yeah, so the keyword you want to look for, Brad, is like here in Glimpse. You see how Glimpse says kill an ally to draw a card? The two keyword tells you that you have to have the first part happen in order to have the second part happen. So I mean the eye can technically show you two, but that keyword two really is what tells you, hey, you have to do this first thing to have this second thing happen. And if a card doesn't have that two keyword on the first part, it's gonna resolve as much as possible. So it's not like Magic. If something loses its targets, none of the rest of it happens. Honestly, this hand looks pretty good. Got 2, 3, 4, 5. No team on one's great for us.
Sharpen the blade, secure the kill. For glory. I'll pick them apart.
Part of me wants to just pass here so they can't play Starlight Seer post-combat. They didn't have it, God bless. My aggro deck will happily take some extra cards. GG! I mean, Grand Fran, the answer is that it's good because it's both. So, like, most good cards in Runeterra have kind of that modal play to them. Misfortune Quinn. Huh. Honestly, Reckoning's probably pretty good here, right? I'm gonna mulligan Assessor, looking for another cheap play. I'm gonna keep the Hearthguard to pair with this if we live that long. Our deck is very confident that we want Shrifarid Assessor. Alright, so every single time we played against Scouts yesterday, our opponent played Misfortune on 3. Every single time. What does Riven add to it? Riven's just a good card. It's just a good rate card for a 3-drop.
Sharpen the blade, secure the kill.
I think I'd rather just play this out. Now, it doesn't make the deck strictly faster than Ashe Sejani. But what it does do is it allows us to play different top end. So, for example, you'll notice this build is getting to play a bunch of Captain Barons, which isn't a card this archetype traditionally gets to play a lot of. Yeah, their start is super slow here.
We fight for one Freljord.
For one Freljord.
I need more
Easy pass here. I think I'm happy with this. It's a little sad, but not the end of the world. I just pass for now. Probably want to play Riven down to get her. Man, that's gross. Do I want to play this to save life tool a little bit? I think so. It also gets me to my Yeti faster.
Protect and strike. Remember me. Press on.
Yeah, Yeti Assessor is real good here. Just like 13 power, draw 2.
And a long path to get you. Line up.
Line up. Huh. I feel like they're going to develop their board more, right? I'm going to play Glory Seeker, see what they do.
I've got your back.
I'm just going to take my draw 3 here.
Earn the right to call themselves Trifarian.
Ooh, that's a really good one. So I get to go ahead and Brittle Steel this, denying it, get its kill.
Honor guide me.
Well, those are play rates within their regions, right, Lowski? Those aren't play rates in the format as a whole. That's a pretty different metric.
Let's see what you've got.
My duty's undone. I misjudged.
think we're just Pharaoning here because I want to save these for when they deploy units with Plaza next turn. No more talk. Huh. I feel like if that's their play, their hand must be pretty atrocious, huh? End round. Goodbye. I like how Plaza generates some predictable play patterns with players tending to play units only on their attack on their turn. Yeah, I agree, Furious. I mean, yeah, Demacia, like the Frostbite decks in general, the Freljord decks tend to have good matchups against the various Demacia decks, right? It's usually the case. I think I want to keep Culling Strike here. Yeah, I think the deck we're playing is super reasonable. And again, just how it goes back to Runeterra when they release new cards, generally speaking, doesn't invalidate previous strategies. Like, this archetype was competitive when I first started playing this game. And in fact, at one point, this was the best deck in the format before it took a nerf to the knee. Trifarian Assessor had previously been a 4-mana card.
Push back the darkness.
When will I find peace?
I mean, +9. Would it be bad to add Riven support for this deck? I'm asking for myself, not because I'm suggesting to change yours. Come on now. That's like saying, I'm not saying it was aliens, Jeff, but it was aliens. Same rules apply. Just because you wanna say you're not suggesting we change my deck, give me the just like the card rec command. Give me a reason why do you want to add Riven support cards to this deck? What problem are you addressing by making that change? What are you cutting? Why is that the cut? The reason, in fact, talking about changing your own decks, the reason why I encourage people to follow those couple of questions when they make card recommendations on my stream is because those are the questions you should be asking yourself when you make changes to your decks off stream. That's how you become a better deck builder. You don't just change cards at random or add cards because they have random synergy with stuff you're already playing. You want to be identifying problems and then trying to create solutions to those problems with the changes that you're making. Hey, Matt, thank you for the 23 months. I really appreciate that. Welcome back. Good morning. And Wallach DC, thanks for the follow. You know for sure it wasn't aliens. That's true, I know. Alright, and again, talking about Frostbite versus Demacia stuff here. So like, you know, they have Plaza, but, you know, it's a little chilly, chat. A little bit chilly. This is an aggressive attack.
These are our lands.
Deal. Gray Bear, thanks for 11 months. Really appreciate that. Welcome back.
I need just a
We're big on teaching people to fish around here. Me telling your ideas are good or bad is a good way to get lectured, but you thinking about why they're good or bad is a good way to learn. So I think do I want to develop here or do I want to just open? I guess I have a good open with Ashe. I guess I still have a good open with Frost Iceveil Archer. My open attacks are much less good if I...
as the arrow flies.
I guess Ashe levels if I play this. The downside here is they could have a thing to make multiple ephemerals. The upside of lethal this turn is high though. So I think we just do this and try and kill them. Well, I mean, if they triple... That's pretty good. If they triple ghosted their... If they triple ghosted their... I could freeze plus troll chant to get through 2 of them. Oh, yeah, I think this is lethal. So like she ices the dragon. Dragon can no longer block because leveled Ashe. This hooks here. They could have single combat for here, but I've got chant to block that. Nailed it.
A new Freljord will rise.
The new Freljord shall rise. Yeah, I agree, Brad. It feels pretty good. Just like a little scotch of interaction. Good closing power. Ashe has always provided good evasion. I think it's definitely good against the Plaza decks. We have not... Someone asked about playing this against Gohard. We've not run into Gohard yet. Contrary to what Reddit detectives would have you believe, Gohard is not every matchup in the format. There could be merit... There could be merit to keeping the Trifarian Assessor against their control deck to start. Katie Friesen, thanks for the follow. I appreciate that. So, and this is why I think it's important to think about what your slots are doing. People asking, how does Riven feel over Sejanni? I think you're asking the wrong question or thinking about this from the wrong perspective. The question you should be asking yourself is, how does Captain Farron feel over Sejanni? Because the big thing we gain from cutting... The big thing we gain from pulling Sejanni down, or getting rid of Sejanni, is being able to play other top end. It's the big difference there. I think we just play Glory Seeker here, since it doesn't die to Avalanche.
Sharpen the blades.
I want to get a big hit in here.
I'll cut them apart.
Oh, do other builds not play? Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't look at other existing versions of Ashe Riven. I started with the Ashe Sejanni deck from previous seasons and then made changes from there. We're unfortunately not quite at enough mana for this yet. The other builds people are playing are bad. These are Troll Lands, also known as Twitch, an Amazon subsidiary. They've notably tapped off of Avalanche mana here. As enticing as it is to draw 2 cards here, I think I just want to do this and get Hearthguard down ASAP. This also pushes some nice damage. I don't want to get avalanched pre-attacks either. Spartan the Red, thank you for the very generous tier 3. I appreciate the 23 months. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. trauma that will unite us all. Play something that means you can't ruinate. Rats.
Winter take you.
I think I'm cantripping this.
Few earn the right to call themselves Trifarian.
Well, they notably cannot feel the rush this turn, so that's good. We can Pharaon into Ashe Assessor next turn. I'll end this. So it's very important that I don't take any damage here, because actually with this block here, I get to for Brittle Steel. That I as I say, I don't want to play into Atrocity, but with this I can play into Atrocity, right? And then I can open attacks with this and then double Decimate. I think I'm into that. I think I like intentionally blocking in a way that leaves me dead to Atrocity to try and bait the Atrocity. Because I notably have enough mana to Brittle plus double Decimate. Just like we drew it up, champ. One could argue that I was a master at baiting. Definitely like we wanted it to go down. I love it. I love it when a plan comes together. Hit him with the pocket sand, the pocket snow. That's great, Pokemon nerd. R1E4, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Welcome everybody. Great to see almost 500 people in here already. Swift Shift, good morning. If you're new to the channel, like Swift Shift and 1415-260, I stream Runeterra here full time. I do Runeterra stuff 5 to 6 days a week during the mornings. Usually play a few different decks every single day of the week. The decks you see listed in the stream title right now are the decks I'm planning to play today in the order in which I intend to play them. So another control deck, Anivia as opposed to a few other rush to the top end. I think I'm supposed to full mulligan here, looking for cheaper stuff to start. You're having trouble against Ezreal Swain. I would assume you want a mulligan for I don't I'm gonna be honest, I don't know. Are you playing 3 copies of Captain Pharaon? Like this list that I'm playing is three copies of Captain Pharaon is probably aces in that matchup. Nah, get a third copy of Captain Pharaon in your deck. This card is just as good as it can be in these mid-range and control matchups. This is like the best mid-range control finisher in the game. I simply do all of the things with my stream guard the gray that I wish other streamers would do. I really hate when a streamer makes me click into their stream to see what they're doing, especially with pre-roll ads on Twitch. Like half the time if I open the Runeterra page and there isn't anything in the titles that I want to see, I just close Twitch and like go watch Netflix. I don't want to like sit through 30 seconds of ads to find out someone's playing a deck that I have no interest in watching. I think we just troll chain here to save this. The fact that they're avalanching here proactively would imply that they don't have a deal one at the moment. Alright, and our curve's working out pretty well here. Pretty sure I want to Ashe pre-combat. Just push as much damage as possible, and then we get to curve into this nicely next turn.
What's that noise?
As the arrow flees me.
Unfortunately, 1 mana short of denying their draw 2 with the Culling Strike, but it is what it is. Troll Chant's not bad. Means we can save this from another piece of removal again. Yep, so they are a mono Anivia deck, so they're guaranteed to have their champion in hand now. Getting this down on 5 is always great. You want to prioritize putting this into play as soon as possible. Not that we have any other plays in this particular hand. Ashe paired with Triferi Ancestor being excellent as always. Getting to Frostbite and then hook their 3/3 here. Unfortunately, no particularly good plays this turn. I assume they're going to have an Anivia and we're just going to have an Omen Hawk. I could Culling Strike their Anivia this turn, but the downside to that is, what should I charge for? The downside to Culling Striking this is that then they can Rekindler it back next turn, which is not something I necessarily want to give them the ability to do. So I think I just, yeah, exactly. I think I'm just burning mana here, and then we're like troll chanting this next turn to have it not die to the token. Do I maintain/build my own website? I mean, I use WordPress. Yeah, I guess technically I'm the one maintaining it. WordPress is like building websites on easy mode. Content management systems are busted, chat. That being said, now I have to kind of think about Ruination this turn. So maybe there's merit to Culling Striking this before they can Rekindler, so that way Ruination isn't an option this turn, so I have decent open attacks the following turn.
Snow, wind, and ice.
Stand and defend.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and kill this here. Because not only can I Culling Strike this egg, but if they Rekindler to get this back with the Harsh Winds, I can have open attacks for lethal, which is great.
Time to reflect.
I just pass for the time being. I'm gonna call this. If I call this and then they Ruinate or Avalanche, I can play this and have decent open attacks next turn, or play Theron into an attack next turn. Double Ruinate makes me kind of sad. So if they have second Ruinate, they can actually Ruinate me before I attack next turn. But I think it's right to not play around that. I think I'm supposed to start with this. They're only 15 cards into their deck. What are the odds of 2?
A storm approaches.
Flash freeze is pretty brutal. This isn't quite coming back yet, so we got that going for us. So if they play anything, they can't ruinate us. And if they play anything, we'll Hearthguard. If they just pass, we'll Decimate. Again, just showing some of the strength of Captain Farron in these control matchups. And like I said, this, in my opinion, is the big gain for this deck, playing Riven over Sejanni. It's not Riven versus Sejanni, it's Sejanni versus Captain Farron competing for that top-end role in your deck. So this has a free attack because it comes back next turn. Am I supposed to deploy another Ice Veil Archer? It doesn't really do anything, right?
This is our time.
Yeah, and once you give up Sejanni for Farron, you have room for another cheap champion, and then Riven's just a good 3-mana champion. Okay, and I assume we're about to get whaled here, and that's why they haven't conceded. Definitely just double decimating. Oh, they're at 9. This isn't quite lethal. I guess we just do this then. I mean, to be fair, people saying Shark Cannon disappeared after it was nerfed, you're misremembering history. I actually think that nerf was a little off base. That card was largely not present before it got nerfed even. So, Farron 2 and 3 are definitely the best draws in our deck. Well, if they didn't open attacks, this was going to be really, really good.
This'll take the chill off.
Oh, we're halfway there. Oh, living on a prayer. Take my hand. We'll make it, I swear. Do-do. Kind of thin. Thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel. All right. Do you have a vengeance or another frostbite for this?
What will you have?
Healing is cheating, chat. All right, and they guaranteed have another frostbite here. Yikes.
Eternal winter.
Yeah, there's really no point in attacking, right? We're not dead next turn, so I guess we're just passing and hoping to draw Farron still. We got a couple more draws of Farron. What? It's cold in my office. My wife is laughing at me because I'm sitting in my chair with the blanket over my lap. Listen, chat, it's cold in the Midwest, okay?
Snow, wind, and ice.
If it's a fight they want,
Hello, baby girl. How are you this morning? Oh, you made a present for your mom. What a nice baby girl. This is, for those of you that have never had small children, 90% of taking care of small children is sniffing butts. So, thank you for the very generous tier 3, and I really appreciate the half a year. Good morning, good morning. What's up, dude?
I want your Switch.
You want the other Switch? Sure, take it. Take it. Run free, small child. Run free.
Past is a burden we must learn to bear.
My son is now 6 weeks old. Lots of butt sniffing. Yep. You are not the daddy I needed. Who's my daddy? Not you. I suppose with these, we might be technically not dead yet next turn. Could definitely be the case. Easy pass here. Attacks don't do anything.
For my homeland!
This is our homeland.
I needed Baron this turn, Precipic. Oh, I guess you're right, because the mana I would have had to spend to Frostbite. Yeah, we're dead. So, and again, like, that's why earlier someone asked us, like, do you think you should be cutting Pharaons from the deck because we drew 2 Pharaons and 10 cards against an aggro deck? And, like, the answer is definitely no, in my opinion, because in the control matchup like that, seeing 2 Pharaons is your best chance to win the game. Yeah, that was definitely a little bit of wrong half problem, right? Like all those frostbites we drew there are cards that we really don't want to see in the control matchup. This is Brad Brown, who was in chat earlier, so I wouldn't be surprised if this is close to a 40 card mirror. Yeah, catch you after, Brad. I'm definitely keeping the Culling Strike. Mulligan the Flash Freeze, look for a 2-drop. Alright. Brad is clearly more of a professional than we are already because he had Omen Hawk on 1. I think with 3 Culling Strikes, I just take the opportunity to use my mana here and kill their thing.
Save the homestead.
To serve the greater good. Break the ties that bind.
Hey, Courier, thanks for the 7 months. I really appreciate that. Welcome back. And their Riven is bigger than ours. And they get to start reforging with her sooner. And their Riven's they've got the next model Omen Hawk Riven. Can we just get the Trapper down here, try and start drawing towards the Yeti?
All the world on one arrow.
Not and ready.
Think we just set up a Culling Strike on here? Ababoga, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel.
Unify the tribes.
I only have good attack, so I think I'm happy to burn 2 mana there. So our next card is guaranteed to be a Yeti then. We'll see what they deploy here. Good chance we Archer into Culling Strike.
No turning back now. Line up.
That's cute.
Winter take you.
Watch. Learn.
Okay, just take this hit here. Outside of Captain Farron, they don't really have any reach. Yeah, Freljord is very good against Demacia, Fruvius. 1 Yeti, please.
I will unite the Freljord.
Only the finest serve.
I think we give Ashe quick attack and then slam in here. The question is, am I offering the trade on Riven for this? I don't think so. She's only one more reforge away from giving us a blade. Shack and Keel Oatmeal, thanks for the follow. Fun username. I suppose they could have a Brittle Steel or Frostbite back here. Hey, maybe I'm supposed to attack with this because they could have a Frostbite back to eat this anyways. Yeah. Why am I not playing Yeti before attacks? Ice Veil Archer. And then I can play this. I can play this post. And then if we're lucky, we'll get the Yeti on top and we can go Yeti Assessor next turn. Yikes. Honestly, that's probably lethal because of how many hits I took earlier.
World on one arrow.
Echo, thank you for the 3rd of a year. Really appreciate that. Welcome back.
I'll do it myself.
Stay back. Tread carefully.
How do we feel about block like this? Hope to draw a Frostbite and kill them. I feel like that's the plan. It's not great against them having Frostbites, but I think it's the line at this point.
These stories were true.
If they have flash freezes of their own here, or their harsh winds, we're probably gonna die. Draw chance is lower due to the... That's true. It is. And then we're dead at this point, right? She's 6. Yeah, I only have 13. Yeah, I could have played around Captain Farron earlier by blocking more defensively, but when I took those first couple of hits early on, we were basically setting ourselves up to be dead to that one. Maybe that's reason to play more defensive early. How we beat the Decimate. Well, if you were listening to the words I was saying, I described how we beat the Decimate. It involved drawing a Frostbite that turn so we could attack and kill them on opens. We keep the Glory Seeker, mulligan the rest of these, looking for a better curve. Yeah, this is fine. Hey, good games, Brad. Good luck with the rest of your laddering. Twisted Teemo on the profile. I think that one ended up being pretty awkward. Remember, if you ever miss anything that we've played, the 4-5 Riven was very good. Omen Hawk on 1 is just so fantastical. For sure. You can always check my YouTube channel and check for the videos up there. Yeah, she was at 3 out of 5 Guard Gray. So if I would have hit a Frostbite that turn, my opponent wouldn't have been able to block with their Pharaon. Blah, thanks for the follow. Good morning. Hopefully troll chance, keep alive, keep our stuff alive through whatever whatever challenge you're gonna stay opt to play this turn.
No more hesitation.
So if this attacks into here, we'll get to troll chant. There's a good chance they just take this pass though, I imagine. Yeah. Now the question is, do I want to deploy a unit before they can Leona? I don't think so, because I play Hearthguard, and if they Leona, it stuns this, and then I can Riven's Weapon hilt this to hook the Leona.
The dawn has arrived.
So that seems fine.
The Solari will unite the heaven, hold the sun's holy light.
To the person that just got timed out for saying, isn't this other thing better? The way to not get timed out for comments like this on this channel is to create a discussion and tell me why you think the other thing is better. Just saying, Jeff, your deck's bad, which is basically what you did, isn't really helpful or conducive to anything. Ooh, maybe I'm supposed to quick attack here as well. That's close. If I quick attack, we still get blown out by Sharp Sight. We're beating Pale Cascade though, which is nice. Yeah, maybe I'm supposed to quick attack. A lot of the times these builds don't have room for Sharp Sight, and they're greedy and play Pale Cascade. Yeah, I could have saved this.
Remember me.
Our strength is
Well, you see, Precipic, that's because I do really broken things while deck building, like cutting all of the bad cards from my deck. It's a bold strategy, but I find it frequently works for me.
Who earned the right to call themselves Trifarian?
One thing I've been one thing that's been pretty consistent for me this season is that the Riven package has not been good. Riven herself has felt very reasonable, but the package of cards surrounding her has felt mediocre at best. Depending on Troll Chant versus Elixir of Iron. Well, I'm playing 3 Troll Chants and I'm playing 0 Elixir of Iron. Is there merit? Yeah, this chat had banned the word simp long before Twitch banned the word simp, because we're not assholes and we understand what words mean. And I encourage people to be conscious of the words that they're using and what the meaning is of them. So the reason why Twitch banned the word simp in terms of using it when bullying is it's a term that has incredibly sexist connotations attached to it. And if you're not familiar with those connotations, I'd encourage you to Google it. We don't really have great attacks here. I think I want to just play some stuff out of my hand so we can get Captain Pharaon set up here down the line. Yeah, I don't really want to play Pharaon this turn, because if I play Pharaon this turn, my hand's going to overfill and I'll burn what I draw next turn.
Bask in her radiant blessing.
Can't be.
Devotion through battle.
I think we just do this to get some cards out of our hand. Marking some damage on this is also nice, because then we have better attacks into it next turn. I guess we could technically gas up with this and then have good open attacks next turn.
Line up.
I'm kind of into that. Harsh Winds is nice. Gives us blade hilt also decent. We're going to get to reforge the blade next turn to start too as well. That's fine.
I misjudged.
Yeah, I think we're just opening on attacks here.
Turning back now. I won't look back.
Want to play around Leona coming down and stunning something here. Getting this low on toughness also means that Brittle Steel gets to come down.
Back, heretic.
Power before our might.
This deck does make, I agree. Judgment's a card that's expensive and clunky and people shouldn't be playing anyways. And having a deck that gets to rightfully embarrass it feels real good. Nice 8-mana card.
No more hesitation.
M. Costa, thanks for the follow. Welcome to the channel.
Power before our might.
I think we just go ahead and do this here. Get to eat both of these. Keep my board. How's this deck against Go Hard? We've not run into Go Hard yet today, so I don't know. We got a lot of chunky units, which tends to be okay there, but they also have a lot of small units, which is good against us trying to make their things not block. Scardo, good morning and welcome. Why not 2 Brittle Steels? I guess that lets us Hearthguard. Hey, maybe that's better. I guess we are kind of trying to play down cards in our hand from this. Yeah, I think chat's right that I probably should have double Brittle Steel there instead. Playing this sooner would have been nice, though we didn't draw units, that's fine.
Sunlight guided my
Ruination's also hard to deal with. I don't know, I think having a bunch of Captain Pharaons in our deck definitely helps those matchups. Like, the Ruination matchup, Pharaon's your best card. We've got a bunch of those. I'm gonna pass here and see how they challenge.
witness glory.
Yeah, Harsh Winds is more flexible.
Descend upon them.
They gotta decide how defensive they want to be with this card or not. Control chanting like this. I'm saying okay. Weapon Hill killed the 5/5. Yeah, but this is another Riven. And I'd kind of like an extra Riven rolled up in hand, I think. This also sets me up to be able to play Blade of Exile here.
Really just needed some victory.
And this has low enough toughness now that I can Brittle Steel it. Those are always my favorite ones, where people come in and ask why they got timed out after they got timed out, after I took the time to explain to them why they were timed out when they got timed out. So like, if you weren't going to hear me explain why you got timed out in the first place, why did you even ask the question? Because you obviously weren't going to be listening for the answer I was going to give. Yeah, overwhelm the 6/6 sounds good. Try and push lethal here. Or at least close to it with forcing blocks over here. And both of these have 3 toughness or less, so we'll be able to beat Judgment with these. Can I let these trade here and just play Captain Pharaon post-combat? I guess I could still do that even if I Brittle Steel here. I think I'm just gonna hold tight because they could like hush this to kill my Riven, and then I want to be able to Brittle Steel it again. All right, they've got Daddy Dragon here.
Your favorite star I created.
Of course, Water Boy, we aim to please. There's no rules command because you had to click past the rules when you joined the chat. So if you didn't read the rules when you clicked into the chat, I'd encourage you to read things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, with this Acel with Spell Shield, Judgment is looking a little scary. Although we're probably just decimating, right? We're just like opening on double decimate this turn.
Clad in shining sunlight.
Yeah, even if they have 1 star shaping, the third Decimate gets them. So I think we just set up to triple Decimate over the turns here.
At last, a way forward.
Yeah, really, as someone, so let's talk about this. I was really pretty happy with this build of the deck, honestly. Like I mentioned at the start, this is an archetype that's basically been competitive throughout the entirety of the 6 or so months I've been playing Runeterra now, or more than that. And the incorrect question people are going to ask themselves a lot of the time when looking at this list is, why is Riven better than Sejuani? And that's the wrong question. That shows a fundamental misunderstanding of what this deck has done. The question you need to ask yourself is not why Riven versus Sejuani. The question is why Captain Farron versus Sejuani. And Captain Farron is much better than Sejuani in the Ruination matchups and things like Go Hard, where they're killing a lot of your units. Farron is very good against the heavily interactive removal decks. And you can't play Farron and Sejuani and this other top end and still maintain a good low to the ground curve in this archetype. So in order to fit something like Farron in, you have to give up something else at your top end. And then once we've given up Sejuani to play Captain Farron to give ourselves better matchups in the interactive matchups, we gain a champion slot. And if you look at the other champions we have available to us, I think you need to play a cheap one to pull your curve down. And I think Riven fills that slot better. Like, your options for another champion are like Riven or Draven. You could play a non-champion too, like if you want to play something that gains you life. But I think that last game especially really showed the flexibility and power of Riven as a card, where this card is just very good self-enabling. You don't need to play her other weak, like the 3-1 for 2 and the 1-2 for 1. She reforges the blade fine on her own. A 3-4 for 3 is just a good rate. Her champion spell is very, very reasonable. So, yeah. I like this build a lot. This felt like a good iteration on what the archetype has been previously. I want to have Katarina be fine for rallies in this deck. Maybe, I don't know. This card's pretty weak in general. The big problem with a card like Katarina, and part of the reason why this deck is good, is because it should be up on my mobile at Express a Pick. Is that our bigger units allow us to play defense nice early until you're ready to pivot and kill them with Ashe, making things evasive. So I like, one of the reasons why Riven's good is because, yeah, her stat line lets her play defense okay. So she's a good modal card that lets us pressure when we need to pressure, but also play defense when we need to play defense. All right, so we are gonna. I think this one's a mobile. Let me double check now. You're making me question myself. I might not actually. Damn it, Past Jeff didn't put this on mobile. All right, I'm throwing it on my Mobilytics page now. I'll throw it in chat too because you asked for it. Yeah, randomly getting overwhelm and quick attack's also good. Quick attack is good. Quick attack is good with Ashe especially, because she has a low toughness stat line. All right, now what else are we playing today? I'm going to put the Invoke Control up there as the deck we're going to be playing next.